The following program contains adult language, poor taste in jokes, racial slurs, political slurs, slants, and all sorts of things that if you are sensitive and have a delicate constitution, you should probably go watch Teletubbies. You were warned.
Hey folks, Blackhawk here. Today going to be doing a little repair job here on the Gobby. Went out flying a little bit today for some Black Friday flying on the way home from the flea market and decided to hit a tree in one of my flights. So as you can see here, I ripped the VTX off. Not a big deal. I was able to find it after about 15-20 minutes. Tree decided to slingshot it in the opposite direction that this guy went, so it was interesting. But nonetheless, I got it. Still to see if it works or not, but I'm pretty sure it does. There's no indication that it won't. So one thing to take a look at here now that I inspected in this scenario are these solder joints right here, making sure that they're not busted. There's no cracks in them. I have had an issue with that before. They look good. And then again on the back here, if I can get out of the damn light, on those three solder joints right there, make sure there's no cracks in those. They look all good as well. And even going so far as these solder joints here and these, if you can see them, yeah, there you go. These solder joints along the bottom here. Make sure there's no cracks in those solder joints. Sometimes coming from overseas, the solder they use on these boards is lead-free solder, and it does crack sometimes. So if you do have a crash like I experienced today, just kind of take a look at all those things before you put it back in, just to make sure you're not going to have any problems. And so far, so good. It looks okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put this bad boy back in. Now, you've noticed I've taken the original heat shrink off here. It was all chipped up and cracked. So I'm going to conformal coat this and give it a little bit of protection there. And then also, I am going to, and actually I originally had it done as well, but hot glue this plug into the VTX. And it was originally done. You can see it actually broke the hot glue in the crash. I don't know if you can see that there, but yeah, it was a pretty good one. It really was. So moving on here now, for you guys that have watched JJ Roto Geek's channel, you can probably fast forward through all this. This is silicone conformal coating. For you guys that are not aware, new to the hobby, just getting into it, definitely a must-have. This is going to give a water resistance to solid-state controls, things like that. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to brush this liquid onto the board, keeping in mind that we're not going to get it down in the buttons, we're not going to get it into our plug area, under our screen, anything like that, because it will gum it up and it will affect the performance. So as you can see, this bottle has been spilled. When you open these and close them, they never seal correctly again. So do not tip these on their side. I always keep mine in this fancy little Ziploc bag and keeps all that shit from getting all over my workbench. So we'll go ahead and open this guy up. Now you don't need to go crazy. Like I said, make sure you don't get it in the buttons, anything like that. Just dab off the excess. And real lightly here, we're going to go across, see if we can get it up. There we go. All right, across that chip there. We're gonna go down here on these resistors. I'm gonna go on the back side of the plug here. I'm also gonna go on these contacts here, on those there, and on these back here. All right, and we'll go ahead and get that resistor over there, get those contacts there. We should be good to go. We don't need a lot on there, just enough to give it a little bit of protection from the elements. And if you really want to get fancy with and get anal, you can always put another piece of heat shrink on there, but I'm not going to in this case. I think this is going to be fine. All right, so now this is a nice little repair, so very easy to do. We're going to go ahead and pop this bad boy back in. Thank you, Tree, for taking it easy on me today. And as like I said, you can see where the hot glue was originally there. I'm going to clean some of that off, some of that old hot glue. And I've got my handy dandy glue gun. Oh, shit. Tangled up. Going there. We're going to give it a little spritz on there. Just quick. Maybe. And that's probably a little too much, but it's not going to hurt anything. Blow down on it a little, kind of get that bubble to go over on top of those wires back there. It'll keep all those wires from getting pulled out on the back side. So, all right, looking pretty good. So as that dries, we will go ahead and slide the VTX back in the way I had it here. Now, I'm not going to change a whole lot. Yes, the VTX came out, and yeah, I had to look for it and all that jazz. But, as you can see, everything's in one piece. Nothing broke. And the antenna's still okay. So, I'm actually happy with the way that things performed and worked out. You know, you kind of have to design a weak point in the system. You want it to fail somewhere that it's not going to devastate everything. So this failure point, which ultimately was in the plug and in this zip tie that's holding this in, it allowed it to kind of pop out freely. It actually worked out really well. So I am going to keep with it, and I'm not going to change a thing. I'm going to pop this bad boy back in. Maybe. Boy, the tree didn't have that hard a time getting it out of there. Okay. Alright, so we're back in place there, as you can see. And I'm also going to re-secure the way that it originally was. And that was... That's too big. Let's go with... zip ties. Alright, we don't need big ones. That's not what she said. Alright. So, the way I originally had it, I'm gonna go right back to the way I did it originally. We're gonna go zip tie there on that back hole. And then we're gonna go zip tie down around. Just to kind of hold it in place. Alright, so go ahead and tighten this guy down. And we can slide you back. We'll go ahead and tighten that bad boy down there. Alright, so as you can see now, we've got a zip tie holding the actual VTX in place here. It's on a nice, actually accessible area to where you can actually see the display, you can get to the button, all that good stuff. However, it's nice and secure in there. It's not just going to rip right out without obviously some force from a tree. And then we've got the zip ties in the back holding the antenna and the actual base back in. So everything's right back where it should be, and this bad boy is ready to fly. So thanks guys for watching. Again, silicone conformal coating. This is MG Chemicals. Check it out. Amazon is the place to get it. Hot glue on your VTX and on all your plugs. This is going to help keep them from popping off mid-flight, vibrating loose, and they will do that. So make sure you get a little hot glue on your Molexes. And yeah, zip ties are your best friends. Oh, and don't forget to cut your tails off. Bam. All right. Hey, thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.
Mittens?